change to these certain programs that are going to be able to allow these things to be sustainable for a long time to come. These things will not change for current seniors, as Obama has said recently, but will only change for seniors to come, making wealthier seniors actually have to give up their privileges so that poor seniors get those benefits. Like I said before, we need to keep these things sustainable for generations to come. And like I said, if the president isn't competent enough to come up with his own budget in 4 years, something that, by the way, is illegal. It's law. You have to come up with a budget every single year. I don't see how he can reform this budget that he's actually brought to $16 trillion, as I believe Mr. Platek said. We need to make these reforms. We need to make these changes. And we need to do them now. We need to be deliberate about them. Thank you.
Mr. Obama, you will now have 1 minute to rebut.
Governor Romney's facts are based mostly on assumptions. He believes that regulation of the economy is important. The Dodd-Frank Financial Regulatory Reform Bill increases government oversight of trading in complex investments, such as derivatives. Governor Romney wants to replace the Dodd-Frank because it designates a number of banks that are too big to fail. The reason why we're in such an enormous financial crisis was brought by reckless behavior across the board, just like Governor Romney is doing right now. It was not just on Wall Street. You had loan officers that gave out loans and mortgages that really should have not been given. You have credit agencies that were stamping these A1 rate investments when people couldn't pay them back. So what did we do? We stepped in and had the toughest reforms in Wall Street since the 1930s.
Thank you, Mr. Obama. As we begin our final round of debate, the topic will be foreign policy. As it is the fourth question, Governor Romney will be the first speaker. The question is as follows. In the past 4 years, we have seen the death of Osama bin Laden, the assassination of a U.S. ambassador in Libya, the end of the war in Iraq, and increasing concern for security of our soldiers in Afghanistan and Pakistan. What are the priorities of your foreign policy? Mr. Romney, you have the floor.
My plan is pretty simple. It's to actually have a foreign policy. See, President Obama, although he says although we are supposed to be allies with countries like Israel, goes behind their back and says things like, oh man, I can't believe I have to work with Benjamin Netanyahu. Things that really confuse our allies. If Israel is going to be our ally in the Middle East, which it is, by the way, we have to quit confusing them and be deliberate with our policy. We can't be unpredictable and unreliable. We have to bring countries back in like Egypt and Turkey, who are both moderate in their approach to Israel. And then we can start moving towards other countries in the Middle East. But the fact of the matter is, countries like Iran don't want Israel to exist. Right now they're building up their uranium. They're enriching their uranium right now, we think, to prepare to make a nuclear bomb. They are willing to take out the entire country of Israel and disregard its people. Now, we as a country don't stand for that. We're supposed to be religiously tolerant. They are intolerant. All right? That is my plan. We need to be strong, number one, and we need to support our allies, unlike Mr. Obama has done. The ambassador in Libya was just killed. Why? I think it's because there are people out there who aren't scared of the United States. Terrorists who are not scared of the United States. They were when we were right in their backyard, not anymore. We've since left Iraq and are continuing to bring our troops back home. Although I'd love to have them back home, the fact of the matter is their services are still needed. We need to be strong, and we need to care about our allies rather than leave them out to dry. And to be honest with you, I couldn't have been any happier when we caught Osama bin Laden. That was one thing that I believe the president did correctly, obviously. A terrorist killed. The problem is we haven't gone any further after that. We need to continue this hunt for terrorism and strike it down whenever it shows up, just like it has in Libya. We need to be strong in this moment of weakness, frankly, and change our ways. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Romney. Mr. Obama, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Romney. I have to say something about what Mr. Romney just said. I mean, he keeps repeating about strong, strong, strong. Should we go and fight? So what's the result? What should we do? What's the result? Should we send more soldiers? Should we just go and say, you are my agent, right? So how many units do I have? If I have 10, if they all need help, should we send like 1 million soldiers out here and fight? We should calm down, because this is our country. That's Americans. We don't want to lose people. We don't want more people to die. We want to protect our citizens. We should keep our people safe. We talk about national security. That's a way to protect our people. We don't want to send them out there and just let them keep fighting for freedom, all that stuff. But we have the rights. We should fight for Libya. We should fight for these people. We should fight for freedom for them. But at some point, we are friends with a lot of countries, but we should control the limit, how close a friendship we should be between us and other countries. And I signed a historic agreement between the United States and Afghanistan that defines a new kind of relationship between us. And Afghanians are responsible for the security of your own nation, and we build an equal partnership between us. So I promised in 2011, I said I will pull the troops from Israel. Iraq, sorry. I pulled the troops from Iraq, and I did it. I did what I promised. I said it because I mean it. So I did what I promised. So I accomplished what I said. So about Iraq and then Libya, all these stuff. I mean, and then in 2011, and then all these soldiers back to U.S. They enjoyed their Christmas with their families. And then we will keep developing the small companies. And of course, we want more people to have jobs. The foreign policy is very important. We should stay strong with China. We cannot make them just take the jobs in the U.S. We want more people in the U.S. getting jobs. And then we should care about our own countries, our people in the countries more than other countries. And then I think people take away a lot of things from us, or a lot of different countries take stuff from us. Now it's a time to develop a strong system to keep them away, and then build our good system to get a good economy. So we need to make friends and keep our promises with all these friends. Thank you.
Mr. Romney, you'll have 1 minute to offer a response.
What David is missing is that we are letting rebels run the Middle East. The Arab Spring is going on as we speak. And if we do what David says, Mr. Obama says. Sorry. We will let these rebels overrun these countries. There are women in Afghanistan who are being persecuted by radical Muslim governments. We need, as the only peacekeepers in the world, to control these people and to allow these women and people alike to share the exact same freedoms that we have. Our bottom line is that we want the world to be free from dictatorships, from religious discrimination and racial discrimination. And we can't do that if we're just sitting at home doing nothing. Thank you very much.
As that is the final response speech, I would like to turn the floor back over to our host, Mr. Wilkins.
So as some of you know and some of you don't, getting up in front of the entire student body and speaking about issues that in some cases are not completely within your background of knowledge, these gentlemen have done a great job. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you again to Mr. Brad Kwiatek and Mr. Vince Kwiatek. Gentlemen, democracy is based on, or the soul of democracy is that each citizen has the opportunity to steer the country. It's really important, although now some of these issues seem way off in the distance and maybe don't necessarily apply to you directly right now. It's really important to think about these things. I appreciate your involvement and investment in this evening. In a week, or in 2 weeks, on November 5th, we are going to have a short assembly and you will all vote for who you would like to be president. And we're going to look at that. In addition, you'll also have a chance to vote for which team tonight you felt best pled the case of their candidate. Okay? Thank you. You all did a wonderful job. These guys did a great job. That's all I have to say. Hold on. Thank you for the quick applause, Miller. Hold on a minute. You're all going to go to study hall.